Okay, here we have a recipe for disaster. We have an MLP Grimdark fanfic reading, a horror Grimdark reading, if you will, and here I have loaded up is 1 hour of silence, occasionally broken up by sitcom laugh tracks. So at any point of the video, you could just hear... And it's going now. This is the video. Oh god. Also, before we start this, I need to say that we are watching the sequel to they all look the same. I did the same gimmick but with like a pipe falling sound effect for the last video, so we're doing the gimmick again. Alright, what's the sequel got for me? I remember the last time gave me like an actual fearful scream. Give me something good.
Was a decorated detective in the Basin City, California Police Force for over 15 years.
Damn, 15 years.
He was an excellent cop, had a spotless record, and had never failed a case. That is until 6 years ago. He was part of an investigation into a local Boy Scout troop regarding missing children, something he'd done countless times before. And he was
missing 401, anybody?
The scoutmaster was supposed to be helping the police force, hiding the children from the would-be murderer. In the panic of the moment, Jake agreed to let the two kids go with him. Somehow, Jake missed a piece of evidence to tie the entire incident to the scoutmaster himself. Watching him get into that car with him was the last time anyone saw those children alive.
Oh, that does really suck.
Jake resigned the day after the conviction was handed down, and the scoutmaster was given life in prison. For the senior detective, that wasn't good enough, but he wasn't about to step outside the law to seek justice. Instead, he went into business for himself, specializing in missing people's cases. As a PI, he had never failed a case.
I know. I see where we're going for here.
Set on fire once. He sought all his payback for his failure, so he
we're gonna find Eva
as a badge of pride and shame.
Pokemon.
Basin City was known for being a middle-class town, but every town had their problems. People with money thought they could influence local policies and agencies, and often they did, and a lot of it remained buried until recently. A major lapse in security leaked a large amount of information to the press regarding cold cases, none more egregious to the public than the one involving 3 missing children from 5 years ago.
Yep.
Watching the news, Jake just shook his head as they announced more and more problematic.
I really hope we have some really juicy horror here. Give me some juicy horror.
Jake remarked to himself as he opened his Hungry Man dinner. Almost as if summoned, his phone rang, and on it was an old name he hadn't seen in quite a while. Chief Michaels. With a long, suffering groan,
I knew a kid named Michael. Back in my past. I called him Mikey.
Hello?
Jake, it's Vicky.
I know.
Vicky.
What do you want?
Vicky.
Rude. But anyway, I'm sure you've heard the news.
I think all but 6 people in East India has heard the news.
Funny. Look, long story short, I need your help. Can you come in?
I'm not putting the badge on, Vicky, if that's what you're after.
I swear that laugh track is gonna jump scare me.
Whatever it is you charge people in return for helping us in a particular case.
Yes. The missing children's case that
it's so long.
News stations calling for your resignation.
With a deep sigh, he agreed.
But you're not getting a discount.
She also agreed, and they hung up the phone. He got dressed, not to impress, but to fit in.
Oh man,
to
this was a terrible idea.
He hated making the drive, even if only one more time, but he wanted to help those children. Jake pulled up to the mobbed station. Press and parents with nothing better to do than protest the department were standing out front, yelling at the door and holding signs with sayings and depictions that even a hardened veteran...
Do you ever just yell at a door?
The meeting
I love yelling at doors.
No insults, no pleasantries, just business and an agreed-upon price. Nearly 3 times what Jake would normally make off of such a case. The files were handed over, and Jake went home and got to work immediately. He pored over all the evidence they included in the files, read the names out loud to keep them in his mind at all times.
Evie Bennett, Elizabeth Dunlap,
Evie!
Steve McDonald.
He repeated them to
Steve
make them
McDonald!
just like he had countless times
I didn't know
before.
McDonald's was
The
part of
last
this
thing he
series.
found at the bottom of the evidence bag was his cell phone. In the clear case was a small Polaroid.
I want
the
some
three
French
teens
fries, am
and
I
identified
right?
the phone as Liz's.
You're
Doing all he could for
supposed to
the
do a
day,
laugh
he
track,
connected
right?
the older phone to a charger he had to dig up from an old drawer and left it to charge overnight. Jake usually had no trouble sleeping. He enjoyed it. It was a nice reprieve from reality. But this
Yes, he enjoyed sleeping. Who doesn't? You're just laying on the bed, and you're tired. And you start sleeping. You wake up and you're just like, God, sleeping. Ew. What the heck, man? God. Ugh.
This night he was plagued with nightmares. Smiling faces, taunting laughter, screams, and ultimately, blood. When he finally woke up, his pillow
Blood.
was soaked and his hair was matted down with sweat. After a few cups of coffee, he sat down and checked the phone from the
Blood.
evidence bag. The device was unlocked, and the contents were nothing special, save for a single video that caught Jake's attention. It was about some viral trend the three tried together. He could identify each of the
On
young teens in the video and
TikTok.
proceeded to cross-reference any material he had.
I hate
With an address in
TikTok.
mind, he started his drive, more or less 45 minutes to get to the house where the three were last seen. It wasn't far away from the main streets of Basin City, but the subdivision was very isolated. The streets became rough, the sidewalks were broken, and few cars were in any driveways. It seemed that the whole place was being all but left to rot. The cul-de-sac that was Evie's address was actually abandoned. Not a single house was in livable condition. Doors had
Whoa.
all but disintegrated. Windows were broken.
Disintegrated?
Roofs on some of the houses had collapsed, dooming the entire structure to
What the-
negligence.
What the heck?
Jake parked his car and took his
How the-
flashlight, a hazard mask, and his Glock, making sure the mag was full. Someone
Glock!
was in the
Oh my
chamber.
god.
He moved past the broken door into the house.
Oh my god, this
along
dude
the
is
east
ready!
Despite
He's
the
ready to
weather outside,
pounce!
a balmy 80 degrees. The inside of the house was practically freezing. Jake's skin ached from the drop in temperature. He called out several times just to make sure he wouldn't have to use his weapon on any squatters. Not that there would be in the level of disarray that this house was in.
Hello? Police! If there's anyone here, come out with your hands up.
Dude. You're in a cul-de-sac that has been completely abandoned, rustified, dirtified, absolutely rubble-fied. The scene is in absolute disarray. It is absolutely disgusting in there. The door has quite literally, in quotation marks, disintegrated. And you walk inside, and you're just like, oh, is anybody in there? Anybody at all? I'm sure there's somebody in here. Anybody at all? Anybody, like... like, I can get if it's, like, a mandatory thing that you gotta say, but, like... Huh?
Hello? Is anyone there?
He waited. He listened. Nothing. Relief. And he began to explore the home. There was nothing special about the main floor or the second floor. Most of the walls were corroded, and the
What
floors
about
were
the
scarcely
room?
covered by what barely resembled carpet.
What about Evie's room?
Jake opened the door to the basement. A frigid breeze blew past him.
Oh, that's
It was
not a good
colder
sign.
down there than the rest of the house.
Oh, that's a really bad
He could
sign.
even see his breath in front of him.
Oh, dude,
With
don't
great
go down
caution,
there.
He got
Come
his
on.
flashlight out and carefully made his way downstairs, again announcing his presence.
First mistake.
Hello?
First mistake. First
Police?
mistake has been
Is
done.
anyone here?
Second mistake, starting to
He didn't know if
talk.
He was relieved or shocked that no one answered, but he was glad he was alone. Though he didn't feel alone, he felt eyes crawling all over him. He felt watched as he carefully stepped his way through the basement. Finally, his light caught
See,
something
that's gonna be my reaction when he makes another mistake.
white chalk outline of some kind of star, some symbols, and some candles. Within its center was a single small book with a deep brown leather cover. At the center was an image of a horse's head, golden, with a horn coming out of its forehead.
I don't think it was a horse. It's a
whispered to
pony.
himself. Taking another look around, he found that almost everything in the room was still intact, like the family had just left yesterday. Almost no dust had accumulated. The furniture in the small room was also preserved. It was surprising considering the decaying state of the rest of the house. Jake crept like a cat burglar in old comics, avoiding the lines on the floor, taking out a nitrile glove and putting it on, then reaching very carefully down and picking up the book. He felt
What's in it?
accomplished when he nabbed it by the corner.
I want to know what's in it,
Perhaps
please.
this book would prove to be useful in this case somehow.
Oh.
Something behind him moved.
Oh.
Who's there?
No voice answered.
You
Every
in
time
a
his beam of
pickle,
light would move
man.
across the contents of the room, including the furniture, it would start to instantly decay. Almost like the room was
shoot,
finally catching
man.
up with the rest of the house.
Dude, it's time to skedaddle. It's
He
time to, like,
started
scoot-a-loo.
running. He swore he could hear
There
voices,
you
laughter,
go.
and high-pitched cutesy talk mocking him as he ran.
He actually ran. Oh my
He found
god.
himself leaning against his car, hunched over and trying to get as much oxygen into his body as his
Oh my
lungs
god,
would
he
allow.
left the house.
What the hell was
He
that?
left his house.
The giggles and laughter thankfully stopped. He caught his breath as best he could and then quickly drove home.
Alright, get the clock out.
Now, here he was, parked in his own driveway, feeling like he just ran a 10-mile marathon. He looked to see the book he found in that accursed basement lying in his passenger seat, just waiting for him to pick it up. Something in the back of his mind told him to just take the book and throw it in a nearby dumpster.
Please
Or
do.
even better, set it on fire and get
Yep,
rid of it.
yep. Set it on
But he
fire.
couldn't do that. This
He couldn't do that, huh? I mean it's pretty simple. You just gotta like and there you go. I mean, honestly, in this situation, I would also get the feeling of, hey, I should probably burn this book. But, you know, being the curious mind that I am, I would probably open it. Are you done? Thank you. I know my talking can be funny, but I would probably open up the book, probably look inside of it for like a few minutes. Maybe I could find something interesting, and then I would close the book and just burn it, man. Just burn it, you know. Just let it ride, let it breathe.
This was possibly the best lead he could have in the case, and the fact that the police missed this item meant the book could be invaluable. Before he could turn it over to the department, however, he needed to check it for information. He sat down at his
I get
desk
his
and immediately
reasoning,
opened the
though.
book to read it, but
Understand it.
it wasn't that the writing was illegible. That would have made more sense. No, it was in another language altogether. One he didn't recognize and no amount of internet searching could bring up.
Russian.
Jake continued flipping through the pages, but no matter how hard he concentrated, he couldn't focus on them. Almost like his eyes didn't want to know they were there. The depictions that he could make out were like that of a person scratching a pen or a piece of charcoal over and over into the paper with mad abandon, like they were in a hurry to get the image out of their head. Jake's head began to hurt the more he tried to read.
I drew a circle. Oh.
With a loud crack, the lights went out in his small home.
Great.
See, listen guys, that wasn't, I didn't get scared. My literal, like, my brain just decided to react. Like, my reaction commentary brain just went like, make a noise, do it! You're not scared, but do it! And I did it. So frick you, I wasn't scared.
Just goddamn great.
I know,
muttered
right?
to himself as he stood up to
Perfect.
check the breakers. He fumbled
Perfect.
around his desk for his flashlight and turned it on. A black figure with hollow white eyes and a giant toothy grin disappeared from his vision as soon as the light hit it.
Okay, now
Jesus
you.
Christ!
Frantically searched
I don't know why that was so funny to me. But the contrast between the very, like, calm and quiet narration to just, Jesus Christ! that was funny to me. I don't know why, that was funny to me. Also, now is the time you burn the book.
Searched the room for it, his beam covering every last inch of the room, but the thing did not reappear. He started to hear faint giggles in his home, coming from all directions.
Now you
Like
exit
he was
the house.
surrounded. He wasn't risking anything.
Who's there?
He called out and got his weapon out of the holster on the desk.
Got the
prepared
gun.
to fire at whatever dared
Good
move in his
job.
line of sight. As he moved through his small home, more giggles filled the air, but Jake didn't waver his pace.
Who's there? I have a gun. I am armed, and I will use it.
His beam of light flashed
Get
in
out
his
of the
face,
house.
aiming out from
Your
the
vision
door
is
frame,
being
and
impaired by being in the
disappeared
house.
before he could react. He kept going, making his way to the door to the garage. Another glimpse of something that vanished faster than he could pull the trigger. Then another.
I will fire!
He roared at the intruder.
It doesn't matter,
Nothing
bro.
back. Nothing more than laughter. He managed to open the garage door at the end of his hall, but turned to check behind him, just in case. Every muscle in him froze.
Don't do a
Around
scream.
every corner of his home, hanging from the roof, every door frame, there was a black face with endless white eyes and a wicked smile staring back at him. He counted
It's the
dozens.
ponies.
The giggling stopped. The lights
Garage
turned back
door?
on.
Oh.
The things were gone.
Oh.
Jake stood with his back to the door.
Now's
for a
your
moment,
chance to
breathing
run.
heavily, wondering what he had just witnessed.
No, now's your chance to get in the
It
car
was
and
so
skedaddle.
jarring he hadn't noticed it had grown so cold in his house that his breath was coming out in giant
Leave
plumes.
the book.
What
Go
the
to your
hell is
local
going on?
therapist.
He
Go
asked
to your
no one.
local euthanizer.
After searching his house one last time with his pistol and flashlight at the ready, Jake went back to his desk. He laid both the tools nearby and tried again to decipher anything in the book. A few pages from where he had left off, he did see one image that he recognized. It was the outline of a mansion on the edge of town. There was a
mansion?
fire, and some folks ended up dead, he recalled. The
Huh.
internet brought up what information he lacked, like the
Huh.
address and the details of the fire.
Interesting.
They blamed it on some satanic ritual. The
Oh.
children involved were fine, but others.
Okay. Welcome to a Mr. MLP rant here. I'm sorry that I had to end this way, or start this way, or be in the middle in this way, because we're only in the middle of this thing. But, what is with horror in constantly using the whole satanic thing? It is so cliche, so overused, and so boring. What do you have to gain when just like, oh, it's a scary thing. Why does the scary thing exist? Because satanic ritual. Brother. See, they get it. They get it. They understand. I am tired of this overused cliche. It is so lazy. Why does there even need to be an explanation for the monster existing? Just, it's like less lazy to bring no explanation to the monster than just saying, oh, satanic ritual. Stop. Actually, just stop with the stupid freaking ritual thing. Tattletale was, I'm pretty sure, maybe the first, probably not the first, but one of the first ones to do it, if you guys remember Tattletale the game. But you know what, it was fine there, because one, it was one of the first uses it for it, so, you know, it wasn't overused yet. And two, like, it wasn't like they were being lazy. They still put in great amounts of effort to make that thing work. And I'm not saying that you can't have the whole satanic ritual thing work, because it can absolutely work. And there are lots of great cases, of that working. But god damn, people, just why? Just why? Why do you do this to me? Why?
Others had died. Jake closed the book and decided it was his best lead, and given the circumstances that just happened, he was more than happy to have this case end tonight. After splashing some water on his face, double-checking his pistol, and putting a fresh battery in his flashlight, he put his foot down and made it to the burnt ruins of the mansion. His headlights illuminated the home and the thick woods surrounding it. Perhaps he was still rattled from his experience earlier. But in his eyes, the burned-out windows and blackened door looked like a face that was screaming in perpetuity. With his mask on and Glock ready, Jake entered the door.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm still kind of mad over the satanic ritual.
However, he didn't need to go far. There, in the entrance, carved into the dusty marble floor, was the same strange star and symbols from Evie's home.
Oh wow, a star and symbol. Huh! Does it have a circle around the edges? The vertices?
At this point, he was all but convinced this was all connected.
Hello?
What's up? How you doing?
Is anyone there?
No, it's just me, the chicken.
Concentration. It was a young woman's voice calling out.
It's definitely Evie.
Outside, pointing his pistol at the young woman standing between him and his car.
Who are you?
She looked very young, maybe 19 years old. She
Maybe.
had on rags of old clothing, her hair was matted and her skin was filthy.
Who am I? What's going on? I don't understand.
Jake didn't
Insert
move,
that one
trained
SpongeBob
on
song
her.
from the Mimicry
Lady?
episode.
I'm the guy with the gun. And I'm telling you right now, identify yourself.
I'm the guy with the gun. Damn, bro. Damn, chill.
She lifted her dirty hand to shield her eyes from the
My
light in his.
God.
Evie Bennett. My name is Evie Bennett. I live at 2314 Finchshire Lane.
A moment passed as Jake
Can you
was
repeat
processing
the second
what
part of
he
that?
was hearing.
If you're Evie Bennett, where are Elizabeth Donovan and Steve McDonald?
The young lady sank to the floor, tears
Probably
cutting patterns of
dead.
filth on her face.
Oh no. Liz and Steve are gone? Really gone?
Jake remembered that's what they called Elizabeth in the video and lowered the firearm.
You really are Evie Bennett.
All she
Wow.
could do was nod as she choked back tears.
Wow.
Oh, God. My mom. My dad. Oh, God.
Jake took off his
I
coat
swear to
and
God,
began to
if the
walk
live
towards
track
the
starts now, I'm gonna.
Hey, don't worry. Everything is going to be okay. I found
gonna
you.
be
I
okay.
can find them, okay?
She looked up at him. He could see the hope in her eyes as he tried to comfort her. The world seemed to fall suddenly silent. Quieter than natural. A whisper echoed through the woods. Evie screamed as something
Bro.
unseen took
Bro.
her into the forest
Bro.
and up into the sky.
Bro.
No!
Jake found her and shot right
God damn it!
the tree line in the upwards trajectory she had just been taken on.
Evie!
The trees began to move back and forth like a wind was moving them, picking up
My
speed
hand
until they were
hit
all
the
but
desk.
shaking.
When the noise played. What? Put what back? Put my sanity back?
Something whispered over and over again.
Put it back. I don't... Put
Um,
what back?
I mean, it could be the book.
The book!
Jake
There
ran
you
to his
go.
car, started to drive home.
There you
His
go.
assistant, with a magnetic flashing light affixed to his roof to drive at top speed without being pulled over, he got on his phone and hit the last call button. Vicky answered in a sleepy voice.
Damn, he's speeding.
What the fuck? Jake, it's 2 in the morning. What do you want?
2 in the... Damn.
I found Evie Bennett. I don't know exactly how or why, but what happened at her home and the burnt mansion on the hill are all tied together. Send units at 2314 Berkshire Lane immediately. There's some strange shit happening, and I'm gonna need backup.
Oh, there's some strange stuff.
2314 Berkshire Lane. Got it. Are you okay? Are you or her in any danger?
I don't know.
Could be.
I really don't understand what's going on. But when this is all over, I swear I'll explain it. Let's just rescue the girl first, Vicky.
I'll get you back up. I'm on my way too. Don't do anything reckless.
I can't promise that.
Yeah.
Vicky said sarcastically with a heavy tone of worry as the phone clicked off and ended the call. Without turning his car off, Jake ran into his home and grabbed the book off his desk. He felt the cold temperature of his home, but he didn't care at the moment. Now he was speeding once more towards Evie's house, hoping he was able to trade her for the leather-bound tome. If there were still people occupying the neighborhood, Jake was certain they would have complained to the department after he slammed on his brakes so hard the tires squealed. The obnoxious red light lit the whole cul-de-sac, and he ran up the lawn and into the door of the Bennett home.
I really had to slam their door like that,
last
man.
time. His face ached from moving through the atmosphere, but he didn't relent. Down the stairs he went, hoping
fast.
Evie was still
We gotta go
alive.
fast. We gotta go really fast
Once
here,
he
man.
reached the bottom, the sight that he beheld froze his blood. Finding the
Well-
girl proved to be simple, however, it was the state that she was in that proved to be almost too overwhelming.
Get the
Evie
book.
was pinned against the wall, unable to move, her eyes wide with fear, staring directly into his own, silently begging. Not wanting to waste a second longer than necessary, Jake quickly ran over to Evie and tried to pry her off the wall. It proved to be a futile effort, for no matter how hard he tried,
You gotta
the force
save the girl by
holding her was
putting the
far
book
too
back
strong.
first.
Put it back, put it back.
See, even they're saying, put it back.
Save the girl. Put it back. Save the girl. Put it back.
Put it back.
The whispers came back almost desperate this time around, with just a hint of excitement. He held up the book in his hand and looked
Excitement.
up. He turned to see Evie's face become even more frantic as she moaned and grunted, as if trying to tell him something important. Jake placed his hand on her shoulder to try and calm her down.
Hey, don't worry, okay? I can fix. I'm sure of it, okay? Don't panic.
She gave one last desperate
I think it's
whine
time
as
to
he turned
panic.
towards the circle. Taking a deep breath, he placed the book upon it the same way it was when he first picked it up.
It's
He could
time to
feel his body
panic.
tense as he waited for something, anything to happen. And after a moment, he was flung to the wall just opposite of Evie. He hit
Well,
with
it was
such
a great one.
force that he was instantly knocked unconscious.
Great life, had many friends, had many families. Wait a
Jake
minute.
was not sure how long he had been out, but he awakened to the twisted symphony and laughter of what appeared to be 6 colorful, yet shadow-laden creatures in the shape
Hey, it's the main
Much to
6.
his belated horror, the
Hey,
ponies
Twilight, how you
continued,
doing?
But instead focusing their attention on Evie, whose body was laying on the ground. Thankfully, she seemed unconscious.
What in God's name are you?
He croaked as his eyes
I'm
quickly
Twilight
scanned the room to
Sparkle.
find his gun.
And I come here to friendship you to death.
However, he felt too weak to reach out and grab it. It might as well have been in China. His breath hitched in his throat as he looked to find one of the creatures staring directly into his eyes. The purple-shadowed pony walked towards him with a twisted, sharp grin. He saw playfulness
That's
in his eyes
the
and a latent
pony on the left.
With every step it took towards him, he could feel biting coldness, and it completely unnerved him.
There is no God here. We ate him. Raw and
They ate. They ate. They ate God. Holy freak. Man, I'm feeling a little bit peckish, a little hungry. You know, I could go for a chicken sandwich, maybe a salad. You know, no. Let's just eat God. Yeah, it's a pretty good meal.
Screaming.
The creature's voice sounded disgustingly cheerful and smooth like honey, but the words drilled a deep sense of terror in his very soul. So much so that he actually believed it. With an effort of will, he managed to speak again.
Why are you doing this?
Have to finish the game, silly.
The
Pony
game.
replied with that same eerie cheer.
Game?
Before he could
Game
reply,
over?
Pony turned around and joined the rest of them in their hunting chant.
We found you! Time to go home and play.
Hide and
Circle
seek.
in the middle of the room glowed.
Are they playing hide and
The
seek?
house above them began to rumble. Jake didn't know what was going on. He only knew that the ponies in front of him were responsible, and whatever they were doing wasn't good.
Stop this!
He cried out, more out of desperation than anger.
Well,
The 6 ponies all turned in unison, looking.
that's over.
It was only
The game
seconds, but the
is
colorful
over.
creatures were drained of all the pastels that had made them a different color from one another. It was replaced with ink-like blackness. Their eyes lost the light of life and sank into the blackness as well, leaving glaring holes of white. Their teeth were their most horrific part, gleaming past the void that now made up their flesh, dagger-like and crooked. In unison they smiled with their crooked grins, and a whisper filled the room, vibrating the
My
very
name's
walls and the bones
Pinkie
of Jake's
Pie.
body as they spoke in unison.
I'm here to say
Game over!
I'm
Using their
gonna
sharp,
make
gaping
you
maws, all
smile
6
and
began to
I
rip
look.
into Evie, who unleashed a scream of pain and terror. The ponies gnashed their teeth into the young woman's flesh, splattering blood everywhere. All Jake could do was watch as the ponies
Blood.
dragged Evie deeper and deeper into the circle.
Please, help me.
The last thing he saw of her was a panicked gaze, pleading with him for help.
Well,
Jake let out
Too
his own
bad.
cry of anger and frustration as he tried desperately to move his body. It wasn't until all 7 of them finally sank completely when he was able to move again. Running on anger and adrenaline rather than rational thought, he quickly sprinted to the circle. His hope was to somehow follow them in hopes of saving the poor girl.
No! God damn it! God damn it! Come back! Come back! You said I would save her! Come back!
it's over, man.
Screamed. His efforts
Game's
would
over.
be denied as a large rainbow beam shot up from the circle, completely decimating the ceiling.
Friendship
He didn't
beam?
have time to question it as more rainbow beams of light shot from the circle, destroying
Elements of harmony?
everything they touched. It didn't take him long to realize that the house would be coming down on top of him soon. With a shout of anger, he quickly ran up the stairs and exited the house.
Okay.
He turned to find the police barely arriving
Whoa.
on the scene.
He
wanted
survived.
to yell at them, to give
He didn't
orders
die.
to go in there and do something, but his attention was directed
Oh, wow.
elsewhere as he and the rest of the police force watched as the rainbow beams of light shot out into the night sky, completely tearing the house apart to its very foundation.
Was there a UFO
After what
above
seemed
us?
to be an eternity, it was over. The rainbow was gone, and the house was nothing more than rubble.
Huh. Well,
He flinched as he
oh
felt
well.
a hand on his shoulder. He turned around to find that it was the police chief, Victoria, looking at him with both confusion and
Well.
disbelief.
At least we didn't die.
What the fuck was that?
Jake was quiet for a few moments. Then, with a voice full of sadness and defeat, he said,
I found Evie Bennett.
Jake, where is Evie Bennett? What happened?
Well,
Jake stared at me
she's in the
for a
dark
moment again.
puddle now.
before the words finally escaped him.
She's gone.
Game over.
Oh, game over. Cool. I have like 10 more questions from the more than the last one. I mean, I would take this as a win. You didn't die. You might be traumatized for the rest of your life, but you didn't die. You survived. I was fully expecting him to die. As for this being a sequel in kind of some sort of a way to They All Look the Same, this answered like none of my questions. The only question that kind of got answered was where Evie was now. Like, what happened to Evie? Basically, like, Evie's just kind of in this weird in-between dimension. Like, she's like a ghost, but not really. And then she got sucked into the puddle. Like, there's so many whys. Like, why the mansion? Why were the ponies bad in doing stuff besides probably just satanic ritual? Like, the whole first part, why did the mother become so deformed for, like, no freaking reason? Why do they do this? What happened at the ending of They All Look the Same? I have so many questions, and they will never be answered. I will also say that I think the first one is better in terms of horror. This one, definitely, I feel like they got the pacing a lot better on this one. You wanna laugh at me? You wanna laugh at me for that? Huh? Really? I am giving some hopefully valid critiques here, and you're laughing at me like I'm some sort of child eating pizza on the playground. How dare you? God. Anyway, as I was saying, the pacing felt better, the whole general feel and writing of it felt better. But I don't know, man. The horror in the first part was just, I don't know, it was a lot more freaky and intense, had more tension rather than this one. Because in the first one, of course, may I point out, the absolutely horrid scream that got let out of the mother being deformed. Oh, that was a really good, like, jump scare scream for me. That was like, whew, good. And also the whole tension of the mother just banging on the door while the daughter desperately tries to figure out a way out of this. Thinking of multiple solutions where none of them pan out in this panicked, timed situation. In the, more of the creatures start to get in, the pounding becomes louder and faster and everything. It was a pretty well done scene, I must say, from what I remember, but I need to rewatch this. I would have to rewatch the scene. But it just, the first one left more of an impact on me. It left more to be remembered fondly. And this one just, I don't know, it didn't hit the same. It felt too safe. It felt too just safe. It didn't, like, there was no, like, real, like, horror. It was more like on rails, go through events, get creeped out, and think you're going to get scared, but never really do get scared. And that kind of sucks. I don't know if there's a third one. I assume there's not a third one. I really don't think there's a third one. There's probably no way there's a third one. Laugh track, you wanna do your thing like one more time? Gonna wanna do an outro maybe? Gonna give you like 10 seconds. Is that good for you? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smuckaroos, 6 likes, 7 tables, 8 Marios who are eating cheese, 9 scrappy skiddly-doos, 10 tens. 10. Okay,